ready, devil hunters, because you've contracted the podcast devil, the only show that pulls your ripcord.
What's up, weebs? Welcome to the Podcast Devil, the first episode in our weekly Chainsaw Man review podcast. I'm your host, Chris Wolfhart. With me, as always, is my co-hosts Anime Danime and Weea Bob Video Games from GigaBoots.com.
Time to rip cord and tear ass.
That sounds painful.
And Dr. Aggro, who is too respectable to get a weird anime-related name.
What?
This isn't fair.
He's a doctor.
Did you tell him that?
I tell everybody that. I told you this.
Because nobody demanded it, but we wanted to surprise people. We decided to do this, a weekly Chainsaw Man podcast.
You might know us from other podcasts, such as Chugging Bleach, Mondo Cool, which got buried, and Big Think Dimension, the gaming podcast.
Yes, and if you listen to this, you just found it on YouTube or an RSS feed somewhere, and you like more content from us, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts. For as little as $5, in addition to having all our content, for as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to our Bleach review podcast, Chugging Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our Pokemon movie review podcast. You'll get early access to both of those, in addition to various other benefits, including a patron-exclusive show, one a month, where you get to vote on what good or horrible thing we have to watch and then talk about against our will. You'll literally be holding a gun to our heads if you contribute to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you like this but don't have any money, you can just tell your friends Chainsaw Man's real popular right now. I'm sure people would like to hear dipshits talk about it.
That has been my experience of the internet, yes.
Also, a quick plus here. We're past the Bount arc in Bleach, so you're safe.
Yes.
It's safe for human consumption now.
We're not quite past the do though. So, Chainsaw Man, the latest in Studio Mappa grinding every single animator in Japan into mulch.
That fine paste.
Yeah.
They're just pushing them down into the wire screen with the heel of their palm like they're kneading dough.
So then that makes the themes of the show diegetic?
Huh.
Yes. Let's scare people away real early by like, wow, they really don't. It's really funny how blatantly. No, this is just about capitalism.
They're like,
It's from like moment zero.
how do we get people to realize that this is a deep and meaningful show? Just rip off the veil. Just be like, hey, capitalism. Am I right?
But this was this director of this first episode was Shingo Yamashita. They also directed the OP. They did a key animation and storyboard for the opening. It's full of movie references.
Oh, is it?
Like every single shot is a reference to a movie, every single one.
Yeah, I saw those compilations on Twitter and just had to dodge it until I watched the episode.
What?
Because Tatsuki Fujimoto, who is the mangaka of Chainsaw Man, and they also did Fire Punch. That was their big success before Chainsaw Man. So if you've ever seen a picture of a guy staring at the screen and looking really, really fucking unhappy, like just the purest form of despair you've ever seen drawn, that's Fire Punch. Just in case my co-hosts have not seen it, I will put the Fire Punch face so they can.
Yeah, I've seen him around.
Fujimoto loves movies. You can actually tell really easily if you read the manga because it looks almost like he somehow draws in a way that makes it look like stills from a movie. It's very cool. But we should talk about the episode. Before we do that, though, what did everybody think of the episode? Like, what are our early impressions, or better yet, what were your impressions before we went into it? That's a good thing to do in the first episode, right?
It's very simple. It communicates very deeply core themes of the modern living, right? And it speaks to everyone with universal ideas such as capitalism will literally grind you into dust, and wouldn't it suck if your dog died?
Yeah, those are both pretty universal.
It does just put those right back to back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does that in a way that is exceptionally anime.
like the entire previous the setup incident is that his father hanged himself.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're like, isn't that sad? We're like, no, we've seen anime. His dad's dead. What? What if we did it to his weird chainsaw dog? Fuck you.
Come on, man. What is wrong with you? So what we're saying is he's Japanese John Wick. Anyways, if we could get this podcast up to 100,000 subs.
Dan, I'm going to need you to put that in the title just so people are like, what stupid shit did they say?
Please, John Wick 4, please have a chainsaw fight.
The most unsafe to film fight ever filmed.
So, honestly, this first episode was exactly what I was kind of hoping for and a little afraid of, in that this tells me nothing about how this show is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I went back to, I'm like, it couldn't have been chapter 1 panel for panel. And it is. Line for line, panel for panel. This is chapter 1 of the manga. And I don't know if that's a good sign or not yet.
Why? Do you think they're going to veer at some point, or are you worried that the manga just... Have you read the manga?
I have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also have.
You're like, so it's faithful, but for now.
I mean, it's over, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's needs to worry about veering. It's just funny that it's like, yeah, I draw this shit like the storyboard of a movie, and then the anime's like, oh, that sure makes shit easy for us, huh?
Right.
The funny thing, the only thing I've read of the manga is chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this episode basically shot for shot, but I'm very happy with how nice it looks. Like Mappa basically always does knock it out of the park, and they definitely did here.
This is CG, but again, I think like this is one of the few projects that's really good to do CG on, because nobody is ever off model in a thing Fujimoto draws.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that shit.
And especially the way Mappa's CG works, the way the backgrounds are, how painterly it can look. Like, it was honestly only a few times a movement happened and like the lighting kicked in and I'm like, oh fuck, that's 3D. Oh, my brain. Ow.
I assume this is like most Mappa stuff where it's like they do CG for some backgrounds and certain elements, but it's not all CG. This is clearly traditional animation.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
they still do a lot of character work in CG as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's definitely parts of this that's CG.
And
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
Like the characters.
it's really impressive because they don't, like, it's not in excess and it's excellently done in the scenes that they use it. You know, you get a fully drawn background, nice amount of detail in it, and the car just slowly pulls up. And the car looks like nice CG on top of the fact that it's the only CG thing in this shot, right?
Yeah, I think the only part that was CG really bugged me were where we did first-person hallway shots, which was right at the beginning.
See, I just got done playing the Midori Kawa moment in No More Heroes 3, so I'm like, ooh, shitty looking first person segment. That's spooky. It actually didn't look that bad. It looks nowhere near as bad as No More Heroes 3.
Of course
just to
not.
be
Come
fucking
on.
clear.
But we open. This is episode 1, by the way. The title is A Dog and Chainsaw.
Always
This
a
is the
winning
title of the
combination.
episode.
I see. I get it.
We open with our protagonist. He's a one-eyed youth who is so desperate for money that he's been selling parts of his body, like his eye and his kidney
And his nut.
and his ball. He has his buddy who is just like this small little scrunko named Pochita, who is a dog with a chainsaw sticking out of its face, and literally looks like you got it out of a crane machine. Like, it doesn't look
Yeah.
like a dog. It looks like what it's like a weird fucked up alternate dimension version of like a Precure mascot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the second or third tier mascot character in a packed magical girl show.
To me, it just looked like a, color swap from blue to red and slight redesign of one of the Dream Eaters from Kingdom Hearts. Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, it does have some real meow wow energy.
Thank you for the original name. All I remember is that I named it Fortnite as a fucking joke.
He's going to work. He kills a tomato devil and sells the carcass to a Yakuza and is transparently being scammed because it's like when you're getting rinsed at like the car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
And the Yakuza just starts listing. It's like, oh, you got to pay for the rust proofing, and you got to pay for the interest, and you got to pay for you want the paint protection, right? Otherwise, rainwater takes it right off.
I want to say at this point, because of things that the story will tell us later about how devils work, the tomato devil being this large and imposing is fucking hilarious.
Yes. It's really fun. Like this is also the good joy for me and Aggro, even though we both read the manga, because we're like, oh, Fujimoto's really smart and set up all this funny shit in advance. But he's getting scammed by the Yakuza. We then get the Yakuza boss talking to his flunky in their car, which is like a shitty little compact car. I was like, oh, you're a big fucking Yakuza, I bet.
Uh-huh.
Mr. rides in a 4-seat. And he's like, real devil hunters don't let people sell devil corpses on the black market. What are you, stupid? It's a good thing the stupid fucking kid, we forced him into his dad's debt. And good thing he does whatever he's told. And then the driver, who is transparently a piece of shit. He has like the slick back blonde hair. He's like scrawny. He's obviously just like a complete dirtbag. It's like, I'll give you 100 yen if you eat my cigarette. And then Denji fucking does.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah, they make it very obvious that he's like basically a dog to them, even from this point. It's just like, oh yeah, he does what he's told, and that's it. That's his one positive point.
Rarely has a story put in this much groundwork of, do you get that his life sucks in the beginning? Do you get it yet?
And I'm just
it's
sitting there,
real bad.
I'm like, his life sucks, sure, but what if he's not a good boy? And then the anime's like, oh, one moment, he is. And I'm like, oh, that fucking sucks then.
But he's not a total rube, because they reveal after the Yakuza laughs driving off and flicks him his coin that he didn't actually swallow the cigarette. It was a trick. Either that or he can do that that Spike Spiegel shit where he hits his stomach and spits it back out. But I don't think that's the case.
Do you think that's what Solid Snake did?
That's explicitly what Solid Snake did.
I've never seen him just punch himself to bring it back up.
That sets up Denji for this whole show. He still put a lit cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah,
it's like, haha, I showed that guy.
Yes, that is him.
I didn't give myself the nicotine poison I'd get from eating it. Denji's like, hell yeah, for 100 yen, I can live on 3 days. I can live for 3 days. Then we cut to his home, which we didn't get a clear shot of in the start. It is an abandoned shed. Presumably the Yakuza own it and still keep shit in it that he's not allowed to move, because there's just like a pile of pallets and like an old tarp and other shit in it. He's like, man, it'd be cool to have jam on my bread, but that's way too high rent for anything I'll ever be able to afford. Man, it'd be cool if I had a girlfriend. And then I'm like, please don't pan out and show snow. I don't need to go back to fucking Love Hina.
God damn it.
See, I've never actually seen that scene in Love Hina. I just remember every single time Bobobo made fun of that scene, which was like 4 times. But then she gives his unbelievably relatable life dream at this point, which is, I want to score before I die. And I'm like, relatable.
Really, he is. We need more protagonists like this and fewer goddamn Kirito clones.
How can you clone white bread? I don't.
Well, there's a lot of it on the shelf when you go to the store, Dan. This seems like a stupid question. Like, you can you not see it when you walk down the aisle?
Me at the isekai section, and I'm just pointing at a wall of Wonder Bread behind me.
Yeah, do the YouTube face, Dan. Do the YouTube face and point. We get a flashback. Denji's a small child. He's at his dad's grave. His dad fucking hung himself. And the Yakuza boss is like, of course he kills himself before he pays us this month. And it's like, hey, kid, I need 70,000. I need 700,000 yen by tomorrow, or I'm going to chop you up for meat and sell you. And then just drives off and leaves this fucking 7-year-old. Who knows where? This is not a graveyard. We're not at a cemetery. Who knows where this guy is fucking buried?
Unmarked graves are still graves.
It's pretty marked. It's just out of place. Marked. We're gonna pull out completely, and that's gonna be like in the middle of a parking lot for a grocery store.
Or the back end of a Walmart.
This is one of those small towns where everything happens in the in the parking lot of like the football arena for the high school.
Yep.
So they like pull out and there's rednecks tailgating.
I feel like that would have absolutely just drained my soul out if they cut to the wide and you just see the Walmart shipping truck pull out. I'm like, no.
The one time it pulls its punch. He's like, he looks at this fucking weird devil dog and is like, you can kill me. I'm fine with that. Go ahead. Pochita can't do it because Pochita's hurt. And he's like, here, you can bite me and drink my blood since I know that heals devils. But in exchange, we have to help each other since dying sucks. Then we flash forward a little bit and he drops some kind of devil body in front of the Yakuza boss. It's unclear what it was.
It's Cabbage Devil.
I'm going to assume it's an egg devil.
It did kind of split like an egg, that's true.
Yeah.
It was the generic representation in a throwaway scene devil.
I assume he'll come
That's
back
plausible.
in season 12.
No, Bob, this was made by a real creator and isn't the Bount arc.
Bob's like, I don't understand.
What's happening? Where am I?
Was this his plan?
Damn it.
That was all a dream. And Dingy wakes up and is like, oh, fuck, I'm too hungry to sleep. He's like, man, it'd be cool if I wasn't too hungry to sleep.
That would be pretty great.
And if I had a girlfriend and things to put on bread. Then he just starts coughing up blood. And he's like, oh, this sucks. My mom died from this. Because this first episode can't stop hitting this poor kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like his mom died from anime disease.
She did. And
Now it's coming for him.
he's like, I heard my mom died from a thing where she coughed up blood. That's the extent of my medical knowledge. I grew up in this shed. Oh, well, that kind of sucks.
My dad somehow got $4 million in debt to the Yakuza. You'd think at some point they'd cut you off, but I guess fucking not. I guess these are some real fucking trusting guys.
Right, these guys
Understandable
just
why
look-
they're so pissed.
They like to have fun. They're like, let's just keep giving him money. What's the worst that could happen?
They like the cut of his jib.
It could be a completely made up number they gave Denji.
It's true.
That's
Yeah, 100%.
realistically, that is indeed a problem.
I have often entertained the idea that they just cruise around graveyards and Walmart parking lots looking for crying children next to open graves.
That makes sense.
There's one. He looks stupid. Tell him his dad owed us hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Yakuza boss like beats on the shed door and is like, we have a devil, get up. And then we get a pretty cool looking shot as he's being driven through the city at night. And it like turns upside down at the end. It's real neat looking.
Mm.
And it feels almost like we're like Fujimoto loves movies, which is makes sense considering they go to a movie set here. Where it's like, it's an old warehouse. We could get in. This is where the big scene's gonna be. Dingy is desperately trying to make small talk, and it isn't fucking working. He's like, wow, it's real dark here. I don't see a devil. You think maybe it's hiding? And the boss is just not responding at all.
Like in all of its classic, I'm not being betrayed right now, right? Right?
He's like, Dingy, you're a great dog. Unfortunately, I hate dogs.
That's how they cleverly code him as a villain.
It's very subtle.
Then a Yakuza who has the best aim in the entire fucking world, I guess, impales him and Pochita from behind with a sword.
Like impressive.
Here I thought suddenly stabbed from behind through the chest was the most played out panel in comic history and could never have impact again. Time to add a chainsaw dog to the mix. That's seriously like reading the manga. I was like, what the fuck? was this whole thing like a fake out main character?
That sure seems how it is in parts of this.
Uh-huh.
Right?
But the Yakuza boss is like, we also made a deal with a devil, and then his voice like warps into a different voice, and it's like, I'm the zombie devil, and these stupid fucking idiots signed over to me for power, not realizing I would just turn them into zombies.
Right? It's so good.
It's insane because they obviously are collecting devil parts and they know about devils in general. How did they sign up with Zombie Devil? Like, At what point does that seem like a good idea?
I guess he lied. I'm like, I'm the give you cool power and lots of money devil. Here's the contract.
I don't know. We're so late stage capitalism in this fucking show. He could have been like, there's a great introductory rate.
Like in the subtitles, the way he phrases it is, I promise to give them devil powers. Unfortunately, the devil powers turn them into zombies. So yeah, they may just be that fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way.
He's like, Dingy, you're a devil hunter, and I fucking hate them, so the zombies are gonna kill you. Have fun. Dingy makes a real good attempt at getting away, despite being impaled through the chest and also having heart failure at the same time.
Right?
Yeah.
He gets tackled though, and the zombies basically start to mulch him as he like tries to crawl away and is like, this is fucking bullshit. I didn't want that much, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lands.
Mm-hmm.
That really lands.
This had a lot of Devilman energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted bread with jam.
It is one of the most influential series in human history.
Yes.
It's like I was content dreaming about living a good life. That's all I wanted
Yeah,
to do.
the fucking part where he goes, I got greedy. I should have just been happy starving to death.
Yeah, it's like he just wanted a normal life, not even anything slightly special.
No.
We cut to Dingy's corpse in a dumpster.
Chop the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really good the way they show that too, because the head's upside down center frame with the fucking cut off at the neck. It's like, yeah, you did it. You really effectively communicated he's in a lot of pieces.
Just sitting there in the audience like, this story is still going.
There's 11 episodes of this series left. It must start going somewhere.
Oh, no, guys. Sorry. This is in media res. The rest of the show will be leading up to this moment like a terrible video game.
It's a series of 12 vignettes that all tangentially involve chainsaws.
Or massacres. Or men.
Pochita is also in half, but is still alive because Pochita's a devil. He flashes back. Pochita does. Or Dingy's feeding him and it's like, I'm probably going to die horribly and I don't want you to leave to be left alone and starve. So I heard that some devils can take over bodies. So I want you to have mine when I die. Just live a normal life and die a normal death. He can't even he can't even tell Pochita to live an incredible life. It's like, just normal's good enough.
Right?
Normal as a concept is aspirational. That is too real.
Dingy wakes up and it's we're like obviously in the big think dimension.
Yes.
And he asks Pochita if he took his body, and then Pochita starts fucking talking.
He's so happy. Oh my God, I was gonna cry.
He's like, thanks for taking care of me, Dingy, but I'm not gonna take your body. I'm gonna give you my heart, but in exchange, you have to fulfill your dream so I can be a part of it through you. Then Dingy wakes up in the dumpster, and not only is he not in pieces, his missing eye is back, and he has a pull cord in his sternum now.
Yeah, and they showed his body reassembling with like razor wire where his bones should be. And I was like, oh, that fucking rules.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like the teeth chain from a chainsaw.
It's so good.
He climbs out of the dumpster, and the zombie devil has immediately been demoted to intro boss. He's like, why are you alive? Kill him, zombies.
Somehow I didn't expect it to be the dumpster was still in the same room.
I know, right? I expected him to be outside, but he just opens it up and gets out. It's like, oh, he's fucking over there.
The zombie devil is a very low effort, efficient sort of operation.
Oh, 100%.
Who is about to experience a 4 times type match disadvantage.
His market's about to get disrupted and all his labor's going to disappear.
Dingy has maybe the most transparent, this is what the series is about monologue possible about how everybody wants a better life and is willing to kill each other for it. And that's why the system persists.
What could he possibly mean by this?
Then he yanks on the pull cord. All the devils jump on him and form like a big zombie pile that's like 15 feet high. It's like 100 guys. And the zombie devil goes, he must be dead now.
And then, like, the simple brilliance of the concept of this show appears right here. There are few sounds as iconically terrifying. I mean, we're up there with, like, the tire screech, the shotgun cocking, and, like, an enormous falcon screeching. The sound of a chainsaw revving.
Yes.
Yeah, we all played Resident Evil 4. We're like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. So unfortunately for the for the zombie devil, Dingy had burst.
Yes.
And just explodes out with a chainsaw, like a weird chainsaw monster head, and one coming out of each arm. Not like Wolverine style, like through the center of each arm. Like it's coming out where his middle finger is, and starts at his elbow.
Mm-hmm.
The zombie devil immediately shits its metaphorical pants. Is like, you're a devil too. We're cool, right? We're cool.
You're one of us.
And then Dingy jumps on him and rips out one of his eyes. He gets knocked across the room, and everybody's hitting him, and it doesn't fucking matter. And he's chopping them all to pieces, and the zombie devil is shitting and pissing and crying. And then Dingy jumps on it again and eviscerates it and slices it down the middle. And then he kind of just looks around and does like the John Travolta meme.
A little bit.
Where it's like, are you guys gonna fall down? Is that how this works? I don't actually know. And he's like, oh, you guys used to hire me to kill devils. I better do it. And then we get a montage of him killing all the zombies.
Something I really like about the fight between him and the zombie devil is when the zombie devil like shoots out his weird like intestine tendril into the midair to try to strike at him, right? Mm. And Chainsaw Man lands on it, or sorry, Denji. I don't know that he's going to go by that. And he lands on it and just rips ass straight up it, splitting it the whole way. Mm-hmm. It looks so fucking wicked. I was like,
yeah, don't shoot your fleshy appendages at a guy made of chainsaws.
It's a guy made of chainsaws.
Not a winning strategy.
How have we not done this yet? It's one of those things you look at Chainsaw Man's design and go, fuck. Everyone else is dumb for not having made this.
James Cameron is on the precipice of shipping Avatar 2. Watched this and just said fuck 37 times in a row while pounding a desk. He's gonna buy the rights, and in 15 years we'll get to see it.
Okay, I'll trust you, James. This once.
You promise?
I actually haven't seen that Alita movie, so I don't know if I should trust him or not.
You shouldn't.
The next day, a woman the entire internet is horny for with freaky eyes shows up with two suited men, and Dingy's just standing there. I guess he was like just disassociating, which tends to be what I do when I finish my work but can't go home. It's like, can I leave? I did all my work. No, that's not how this works. If you're too slow, we'll yell at you for wage theft, but if you're too fast, whatever. You still can't leave.
For people who don't know, break rooms exist at most jobs, not necessarily so you can have a break, but so you can disassociate in there after you've clocked out.
She walks up to him and says he smells funny, but not like a human or a devil, and asks if he killed all these guys. Dingy, presumably stunned because this is the first time a woman has ever spoken to him, he's like, give me a hug. And because she's obviously a fucking freak, she does.
She's a very sympathetic soul, clearly.
I honestly thought she was going to say that he smells like a dog. I thought that she would just come out and say it.
Because she was talking about the scent of him and how he didn't smell like human or devil.
Right.
It is such a great intro because you've got the enormous explosion of violence that is Denji in this scene, and then you immediately counter that with levels of mysterious manic pixie dream girl that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, it's like the Bloodborne Insight version of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. It's like you have to have at least 30 insight to be able to perceive her. All the devil parts just melt off him like goo. She's like, "Well, he's not possessed. Hey, you have two options." And as she's asking him this, she like puts him in her lap with him laying down. It's like, I can kill you as a devil, or I can keep you as a human. And if I keep you, I'll feed you. And he's like, feed me what? This is important. Death might actually be the better option. And she's like, bread with jam, I guess. He's like, cool. And then that's the end of the episode.
No, he's moving up. We're talking butter and jam, salad,
That's true. And coffee.
maybe dessert. He's like,
Holy shit.
He's like, my plan when I woke up today was to die in a ditch. This is a huge upgrade.
he's such a good boy. It's Denji's power. You will see it moving forward. No matter what happens to him, it's better than the way he was living.
That does tend to put things into perspective.
That does give you enormous strength as a person.
And that's the first episode of Chainsaw Man. I thought it was pretty great. What did you guys think?
I thought the first episode of Devil Baby Cry Saw was excellent. It looks great. The writing is so good. There's awesome shit happening at all times. And yeah, people who pay attention to my opinion on this shit know I really appreciate a thing that's just like, no, shit's really bad. And you go, yeah, I know. And they're like, no, shit's really bad.
No, you fucking don't.
And this episode was a lot of that mixed with really hardcore, awesome moments. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Opening monologue about selling your nut is really, really good.
Now, do you think he got his nut back when he became Chainsaw Man?
I don't think Pochita had a nut to give him.
I don't know. He got the eye and everything else. So
Yeah,
I
he got
assume
the
it's
eye
fine.
back.
He probably got the kidney back too.
I don't know if any of that stuff functions the same way.
Yeah, but they're back.
It's back.
And
It's
full
back.
of
You can't
teeth.
see it, but it's a really tightly wound little ball of like chainsaw blade.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's a good thing his head and arms are chainsaws that distract from his left nut that is also a chainsaw.
Yeah, like
much
a-
smaller.
He whips it out and we get like a From Dusk Till Dawn scene, but instead of a revolver, it's a little chainsaw.
God. But what did you two think? Did you like it?
I mean, yeah, this anime had the specific quality of being very aware of how iconic what it was doing was, even in its first episode. You can see it walking tall the whole way through because it's like, this is already a crazy popular thing, so we're gonna fucking act like it. Which is,
God,
it's
it's
really
so
nice
good
to
when
see in
somebody-
something like that.
Yes, it's so good when somebody actually does that instead of going, it's really popular. That means we cannot try.
But yeah, I also really enjoyed it. This is definitely solid stuff.
It's this episode, like watching the first episode reminded me, obviously, of reading the first chapter of the manga. Back when all you would see of Chainsaw Man on the internet were people posting weird, hard to decipher gore splash pages with a guy with chainsaw arms. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's all that manga is.
Yeah.
And then I actually read it and I'm like, oh, fuck every fan of this. What is wrong with you? Post actual things.
It was all gore and mommy stuff. That's all it is.
I can't believe a fan base would be so base.
But yeah, having read that first chapter over a year ago and then waiting for the anime was tough because you just see constantly stuff posted about it at all times. There's no evading it.
I'm the only person coming into this completely blind, huh? Nice.
Well, Bob's gonna be completely blind now.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
There's this thing that Chainsaw Man fans talk about called Chainsaw Man pacing. So trust me, Aggro and I are also, no matter how many times you go on a roller coaster, you don't really commit it to memory.
It's
You just kind of recall, 90 seconds in is when you really scream.
I have been, like, in preparation for this recording, trying to think of and, like, put everything in order that I remember. And I'm like, this is entirely wrong. Fuck.
Yeah, like RE4, like Resident Evil 4, where you can never remember what order things happen in.
And when does Egypt happen? Jesus.
Next week.
This month's GigaBoots videos were brought to you by the continued support of our executive producers, such as Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Burning Pepsi Man, Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, and Virmvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these gamers. If you want to support GigaBoots so we can continue the content crunch, then head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today